The number 9 shirt has established itself as one of the most iconic pieces of footballing attire in the world, a kit number that's been worn by some of the all-time greats: Samuel Eto'o, George Weah, Sir Bobby Charlton, Luis Suarez, Ronaldo, and of course, Aruna Kone. And the same can be said for Liverpool, who have had some true legends of the game wear the iconic kit. And also, well, some of these. It's time to go beyond the Kop and rank every Liverpool Premier League number 9 from worst to best. Make sure to click like and subscribe, especially if you're new around here, and leave comments down below with your thoughts and what videos you guys want to see. At number 12, it's Hadji Diouf. Liverpool have made some major mistakes during their Premier League existence, the signing of Alberto Moreno, giving Rafa Benitez a microphone after he spent all day writing his facts on a piece of paper, and of course, the 2001 summer transfer window. What would happen if you span a roulette wheel to determine your summer business? And no signing represents the dire straits Liverpool were in at the time, when they literally spent money for nothing on Hadji Diouf, who is another example of someone having a great international tournament before joining a big club and flopping harder than Glenn in big stuff. He spat at rival fans, criticised Steven Gerrard of all people for not being good enough, which is like giving Sidney Sweeney for not having good genes, and turned up late for training while blaring music from his car the day after losing a match. Not good enough for Liverpool, and definitely not good enough to be given the number 9 shirt. Number 11, Iago Aspas. When you're playing third fiddle to the tag team of Luis Suarez and Daniel Sturridge, it's admittedly hard to get a look in, but when you're on the pitch, you've got to seize your chances. Heskey did it, Crouchy did it, Origi did it, Aspas did not do it, somehow being as effective on the pitch as he was on the bench, and that takes talent. Going into the 2013-14 season, Liverpool needed attacking options up top, with Barini going to Sunderland on loan, and the club not really having any kind of backup option to the soon-to-be-known SAS. So when we signed Aspas from Celta Vigo for close to £8 million, it was viewed as good business before people saw him run like he was on treacle and smuggling turds. He scored 1 goal in 15 matches and took what can only be described as a stormtrooper shot turned into a corner, missing every single target possible except Willian, who was a Chelsea player. Nice one. Number 10, Rickie Lambert. Oh, I really wanted this transfer to work out. I don't think any of us expected Big Rick, whose penalties were sick, to walk up to Anfield Road and set the world on fire with dazzling displays of footballing quality, but I think a lot of us expected more than just a sack of sand with a buzz cut on top, who couldn't even dislodge Mario Balotelli from the starting lineup. Let's be honest, the main reasons we signed Ricky L from South Coast Hell was because he was A, cheap, B, a Liverpool fan, and C, he could take a penalty like it's no one's business. But giving him the historic number 9 shirt that just a few years prior had been worn by Fernando Torres just seems like a step too far. He wasn't as awful as the players we've mentioned before him. In fact, his goal against Crystal Palace was actually quite nice, and seeing him celebrate with the fans after his goal against Aston Villa was lovely, but he wasn't to a standard that warranted him being blessed with the honour of the number 9. Number 9, Andy Carroll. Well, it's a show. Remembering the fact that Liverpool broke their then record club transfer fee for a player in January 2011 by signing someone who could only be compared to a brain-damaged penguin stuffed into a duffel bag is a heartbreaking indictment of where we were as a club back in the early 2010s. But even us, as a side who were still reeling from the heartbreak of losing Fernando Torres to the richer bloke from down the road, should have seen that signing Andy Carroll, based off of a 6-month purple patch for Newcastle for £35 million, was a bad idea. Goals against Everton and Chelsea aside, the Geordie version of a sandbag moved like Drippy in slow motion, and the fact that the original plan for him was to be the main starter over Luis Suarez just reminds me why I drink. Number 8, Christian Benteke. If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? If Christian Benteke signed for £32.5 million, does he make an impact? Both of these riddles have perplexed people to this day. I'm actually not as on board the hate train towards Benteke City like a lot of people. Sure, in the end he wasn't worth the money we paid, but that's not his fault per se. At Aston Villa he was terrific and was a terrorising threat to pretty much any side he faced, but at Liverpool he still had a couple of decent moments, not as many as we would have liked of course, and I'm still saying he played like he was moving through time at 0.5 times speed, but that overhead kick against Manchester United at Old Trafford, the equaliser against Chelsea in the 96th minute, the winners against Palace in the 94th minute from the penalty spot, there have been worse. but there have certainly been better. Number 7, Nicolas Anelka. I'd rather someone who only played for us 22 times and didn't do much wrong than someone who played for us twice as long and couldn't score a goal to save his life. And that is very much the case with Nicolas Anelka, the man who had been passed around more than Bonnie Blue, and it's not even close. Anelka joined on loan in December of 2001, and from then on set about proving to everyone why he deserved to wear not only the historic red kit, but the number 9 as well, with him scoring 5 goals and registering 3 assists in 22 matches, one of which was in a Merseyside derby. And of course, we all remember his absolute masterclass against Newcastle, which had everyone crying for us to sign him, and instead Houllier decided not to sign the former Real Madrid Champions League winner on a permanent deal, and instead signed Diouf. It's like trading your firstborn for a bounty. Number 6, Djibril Cissé. Now look, I'm not an idiot, despite what some people may want you to believe. I understand that in the grand scheme of things, Djibril Cissé was an expensive signing at the time who didn't quite live up to the high expectations and standards that were being set for him. But as a whole, I'd say it was a perfectly acceptable 2-year spell at Liverpool, containing 3 pieces of silverware and a Champions League season that is nowhere near talked about enough, of him scoring 8 goals in 15 appearances during the 2005-06 qualifying and group stage rounds. He suffered some horrific injuries, but still managed to bounce back, a quick and gifted footballer with an eye for goal and a real talent for playing off the last man. He wasn't faultless and certainly drifted in the league at times, but overall, far from an awful player for the Reds. Number 5, Darwin Núñez. If you're talking about players who delivered in big moments, then you can guarantee Darwin Núñez will be towards the top of that list. Easily one of the most divisive figures in Liverpool's Premier League history. People didn't know whether to love him or hate him, so hell, why not both? One minute he was missing open goals and passing like a turtle with Parkinson's, the next he would be scoring late winners against Newcastle, Bournemouth, Forest, Brentford, and playing a crucial role in matches like against Man City in the Community Shield, Arsenal at the Emirates, and the 7-0 against Manchester United. He came at a cruel time when Liverpool fans were crying out for centre-backs and a number 6. Not a record-breaking striking option was being compared to Haaland due to the time in which both he and the most human-like cyborg since Mark Zuckerberg joined the Premier League for big money. He was stressful, but was energetic, tenacious, spirited, and always gave 100%. Some people were happy to see the back of him, but overall, he did give us some great memories. Number 4, Ian Rush. Now just wait, okay? Before you start condemning me to a life of misery and pain, just remember there are millions of Everton fans already living in the world and experiencing that reality, so think of their poor souls. While it can't even be debated just how phenomenal and iconic of a footballer Ian Rush is in the history of not just Liverpool, but football as a whole, we need to remember that a vast majority of his phenomenal talent was showcased in the First Division before 1992, winning 5 league titles, 2 European Cups, and finishing as Liverpool's top scorer 6 times from 1981 until 1992. But that doesn't mean he wasn't spectacular following the rebranding of the top flight, scoring 45 goals in 4 seasons, and honestly, the catalogue would make any striker on planet Earth jealous, scoring against Villa and Blackburn when they were genuine title contenders and winners, producing quality moments against Manchester United and Manchester City. The man was a technical marvel on and off the ball, capable of finishing from any angle and spearheading Liverpool into the new generation of top-flight English football at the age of 31 until his departure from the Reds in 1996 at the age of 36. He is beyond comprehension for Liverpool fans, and, well, rightfully so. Number 3, Fernando Torres. Liverpool's catalogue of top-level Premier League attackers reads like a dream. Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, Ian Rush, Mohamed Salah, Luis Suarez, Sadio Mane, and Roberto Firmino are all examples of the incredible work Liverpool have done in finding world-class attacking footballers, with Fernando Torres being just one of those examples of this. From his arrival from Atletico Madrid in 2007 until 2010, the Spaniard was undeniably one of the best strikers in the world, spearheading Liverpool to title challenges, scoring 81 goals in 142 matches for the club, and putting fear into any defender who had the difficult task of trying to control his talents. There were few players better on the planet than Torres at using their physical stature to hold off defenders while being able to seamlessly find the back of the net, with his goal catalogue just an absolute joy to behold. World-class goals against the likes of Chelsea, Blackburn, Sunderland, and of course the times he made Manchester United look like a car trying to stop a steam locomotive. I'm sure Vidic still has nightmares about it to this day. He may not get much love today due to his departure to Premier League rivals Chelsea back in 2011, but for a time, there were few people more loved than Torres on Merseyside, especially when he was linking up with Steven Gerrard. Number 2, Roberto Firmino. Without Roberto Firmino, there is no title in 2020 and no Champions League in 2019. The man described by Jurgen Klopp as the nucleus of Liverpool's attack is without a doubt one of my favourite ever Liverpool players, and if you want to see a top 10 list of that, just let me know. The Brazilian was signed in 2015 and honestly went under the radar at the time, but the signing of Christian Benteke being viewed as the big money impact addition that would see Liverpool recover from their awful 2014-15 campaign. In actuality, what followed was a few months of pretty much nothing before Jurgen Klopp took over from Rodgers in October of 2015 and changed everything, moving Firmino into a false nine role and revolutionising Liverpool's high-impact, high-pressure football for the next near decade. Trying to list off his highlights is almost impossible. He scored against every big side in England, captivated the world on the European stages of the Champions League, and got the very best of those around him, allowing the likes of Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah to benefit from the selfless work rate and creative ability of the man who would go on to become the highest scoring Brazilian in Premier League history. Yes, Roberto Firmino truly is one of the all-time greats in Liverpool's history, winning almost every trophy possible during his time at the club and playing such a vital role during his near 8-year spell at the club, with his 111 goals and 72 assists in 362 matches for the club, just a small part of his overall legacy. And number 1, Robbie Fowler. If this list was based around who won the most with Liverpool, then of course Firmino would be at the top, but you don't get nicknamed God for nothing, and in the case of Robbie Fowler, it is well deserved. There are few people idolised in Liverpool like Robbie Fowler, stemming from his first goal in his debut against Fulham on the 22nd of September 1993 and going all the way until his final appearance to the Reds against Charlton Athletic on the 13th of May 2007. I mean, honestly, where do we even begin? Left foot, right foot, header, penalties, screamers, tap-ins, it's all the same to Fowler. No one could make football look like a casual kickabout against children like Fowler could. The infamous hat-trick against Arsenal in just 4 minutes 33 seconds, which stood as a record until 2015 when it was broken by Sadio Mane. His volley against Everton, scoring in the UEFA Cup final against Alaves in 2001 to secure the treble, the overhead kick against Charlton. I could go on and on and on forever, but nothing I can say can put over just how much of a footballing marvel Fowler was for Liverpool. He left on poor terms, of course, when he joined Leeds following a public fallout with Phil Thompson, but he got to return to us in 2005 and see out the rest of his career the way he deserved. Without a doubt, Liverpool's greatest ever number 9, and a man truly deserving of the nickname God.